Hello, this is my Cypher guide on Ascent. We're going to start off on Defense B first. I've already got everything kind of pre-placed around the map, so I don't have to faff around and place everything. So yeah, we're going to start off with the trips. So these trips are used for various reasons. Like this first one, for instance, is just to stop people from running in, taking space here. Very similar to this trip, but on this trip, I'm more likely to get a kill when they shoot it, if they shoot it. Because I'm more likely to like know where they are when they shoot it, right? And I can probably get some nice easy kills with it. This trip is for jets dashing into boat or into switch. When they do this dash here, they're going to dash right into it, and it's going to be a free kill from 60. There's also this trip here and this trip here, which basically serve the same purpose. This one just happens to get boathouse as well, or like not boathouse, sorry, switch as well, and this one just gets lane. Both are once again for the same reason, where I can get kills through smoke right here. And this one is very similar to this one, where it's just going to stop people from getting into fight. Bear in mind that this one is not as good. It's usually used as like a big like a tech or something, or like a very situational trip where they've been breaking with other ones, and it couldn't, because it kind of allows them to get into like sneaky positions like in logs and things like that. So I don't particularly use it a huge amount, but it is one that you can use, especially good if you know they're going to come B as like a main sort of team, like their strong side is going to be here, because and the fact that this is like a sneaky trip doesn't really matter a huge amount, or a trap that they can be sneaky with. Now look at the cages. So this cage is a one-way cage that you can use mainly from stairs. There is like a little over here of like a little gap you can be shot from, so be careful of that. You can use it kind of from anywhere. It's pretty decent, honestly. The way through it is you go in this corner, and then you aim at like this like circular bit here, and you go down until the end of the rubble. And yep. The other cage we have on B is this one. This one I don't pre-place. It's just one that I use that if I'm playing in this position, it means that I can easily like fight, step back, and I can put like, and then I usually throw it then. And it gives me basically two ways to play. I can put it up and then run back sight. And the other way I can play with it is when it's, I can put it up here, and then I can walk and jump into it while walking, and I can basically be sneaky in here. They heard me drop, and now I'm back in the smoke, right? And I might be able to get a free kill on lane. Usually probably 1 for 1 or maybe even 2 for 1 if I'm really lucky. But yeah, that tends to be how it goes with those. Next we go look at the cams. So there is a cam up here that you can do. You can do this one on biphase, and you can actually see through the barrier. Or no, you can't see through it, but when people look up against the barrier, they can sometimes clip through it. So you can actually see people clipping through the barrier in biphase. Bear in mind that that is probably bug abuse, so you probably don't want to be doing it a whole lot, and it's probably going to get patched eventually. I think it was meant to be, but I think it actually was meant to be patched at some point, but it's come back again since. So it is possible to do that. Next we've got these cams. So this cam is good. It's basically the same as one other cam I'm about to show, but it shows everything, and it's very unlikely to get shot before it sees something, basically. I think it's quite annoying. The other version of this is actually one that you've probably seen before a lot more, is this one. Basically anywhere on this wall, kind of. And it basically gets early information. So you can call for utility from a teammate or an Odin spam, or you can be the Odin spam here off your cam, basically. And then you can spam. Or you can get like Sova to shock, or you can get Raze to nade, etc. KO to do things, deadlock, whatever horrible team you have. You can get them to use their util off it. And then there's also this cam, which is good. It's really, really good for like when they come out, they can't really shoot it because it's like up and behind them, which is usually a good cam spot up and behind them when they come out of sights, because it's really hard to get this angle and then come back to where you want to be aiming to. Obviously anywhere on this wall kind of does the same thing, so you can kind of, you don't have to be like too precise with where you put it. Sometimes you can mix it up so it's harder for them to pre-shoot it or whatever, or pre-fire it, sorry. And yeah, that's kind of it for B. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes if you want to play super backside as well, you can also carry on, or like if you do have a cage left, you can place a cage like this and play for time with your like for your team to come and rotate into helping you with the retake, or not the retake, but helping with the hit. You can also do that on attack as well, but I'll get onto that when we get into attack. Next is mid. These are two trips you can use. You just mix them up, and if you need to, if they know that this trip exists, so they keep pre-firing it, you just mix up its position, put it deeper, put it lower on the ground, put it a bit higher if you want to, that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, these are like the two places you'll put the troops. And this one technically is probably a bit better, but it does get them to a slightly more advanced position where they might be able to get sneaky kill on someone potentially, but very unlikely to be honest. Anyway, there is a cam in mid as well, so we want to go on top of these barrels, and I place it on the window like this. And when it does, even though, okay, I place it pretty wrong there. You do have to kind of tweak it sometimes, just to kind of get it on the right position. This should be better. Yeah, it's been much better. Because what will happen here is they probably won't see it as much. This cam tends to live for quite a while, despite what it sees. It sees a lot of stuff in mid, and for some reason, people just don't seem to see it. I think it's because it's just a bit obscured, like behind the light, like kind of hard to see it. So I have actually placed it a bit lower than normal. But I think the light gets a bit blocked by this. So it might actually not be like very easy to see. So that's the reason why I think that one lives quite a while. So I do recommend that cam sometimes. Usually I will be playing B when I've got this cam up. But I mean, you can play A with it as well. I guess you can kind of do anything you want with that cam. It's pretty good to have the info in mid if you don't have info in mid from your other teammates. The next one is these two trips. This trip is a bit annoying sometimes because they can't really shoot it from here. They can actually, but it's not really that ideal for them, so they're probably going to shoot it like this. And sometimes it can expose them to garden doing that. And in general as well, like it's the same premise as like their crosshairs are going to be in a bad position when they shoot this. Like they have to shoot this and then they have to turn around. Like I don't know how much that is. Like it's like 120 degrees or something. They have to turn here, and then obviously like just under 180 for that one. So it's actually like really good to place it here. Because it makes them have to have better base movement. And this one's pretty good as well for catching people off guard. Usually you would combine it with like a cage here or a cage that comes out like this. And so you can like follow up on the cage pretty well. This one also obviously is good for a main too, which is what we're going to move on now. You can also place a cam in tree if you want to. When you play A. I personally don't, but I have seen people do it before. I don't think it's too bad, to be honest, but I don't like doing it personally. Then we got the next trip. So you've probably already seen this trip. This trip is really well known. It's just a pretty annoying trip to deal with when you want to go at A main. Then we have two trips for switch. So if anyone's trying to pass switch, then they get tripped by these. And I have two that path the right side. So when they try to go up to near dice, this one will catch them if they go up the stairs, and will catch them if they go up here. So you can do this trip when you have like this cage or this cage. And basically, it just stops them from like pushing you basically, and you can tag them here and then get a kill like from under. This cage is also pretty good with it as well because they're actually more likely to go path this way. So then you can shoot them over here like this or do this. Pretty good. This just splits up the site, so it's really hard for them to actually like kill you on site basically. So yeah, this is a pretty good one for holding A. When it comes to cams on A, my go-to cam is literally just one up here. Obviously don't place it right here, but usually I place it over here. This. And yeah, this is basically the go-to cam I go to every single time. Very rarely do I have a different cam. There is some different cams you can do that like hide from it, that like hide itself from the enemy coming to site. I like this cam as well. Can be quite cool because you see people coming onto site and it doesn't actually expose the cam for a while. Very similar to the one I like on B as well. Yeah, you can also do it on this too. This one's also fine, but this one will get shot from short. Pretty decent cams you can do. Let's go on to retaking, and we'll go on to retaking A first. So retaking A, generally I don't do a whole lot like amazing. I don't do that like cool stuff really, but yeah, cam that sees a lot of sight. And then it's just cages. Like if you have cages, you can go there and drop here, and you can fight under before all the corners, whatever. You can also do the same cage, and if you have another cage, you can place cages where you want to drop to, and fight like this. Making sure we have good hygiene when gunfight hygiene. When we're doing it, we don't want to do any W peeks through this area like this. We want to make sure we to peek through our cages. And yeah, basically it really for retake. There's not really. You can also smoke the bomb as well. Cage the bomb is also good. Because especially good in like 1v1, 2v1, things like that. Things where you like need ownership of the smoke, and you can like tap and like be a bit sneaky with what you're doing, and that kind of stuff. That's when that good. Having ownership of the smoke is always pretty good. And then retake B. Very similar to A, we can also just use our cages to kind of get into positions like this, to get back onto site and just to kind of ignore what's happening over here. Cams wise as well, you can do cams like this. Let's see these mates, you can see like deep over there, you can see all this stuff. Yeah, I mean sometimes, you're going with like, most of the time for the cam it's like reclaimed and you'll be on your way there, but it'll die pretty fast when you like place it on retakes, in my experience. So you know what it is. We're going to go on to attack. Okay, so on attack, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that, more of the strategy I'm going to do, that I'm going to use with these with these trips. These are the 4 trips that I'm going to do. And basically, these trips are, if we're going B, I'm going to be placing this trip. If we're not going B, but I want map control, then I'm going to place this trip. Because basically, I don't want this pocket to exist when we're not going B. Because if we're not going B and this pocket exists, then they can swing tiles, they can see a lot of mid, right? We don't want that. We don't want that. We want to make sure that when they break this, we know that they have that information over here. Instead of like unknowingly giving them that information, right? And then we go on to do the trips. So these trips are the same premise, right? When we're going A, I'll be doing this trip because I want the maximum information of the flank behind us. But when we're not going A, and I want map control A, then I'll place a trip like over here. And the way I place this trip is, let me just bring it back up. On this, there's like this little thing that hangs down. I don't even know what it is. It's like a piece of meat or something. It's like a sausage or not a sausage. I don't know what it is. Oh, look, what is that? Okay, it doesn't matter. But I'm in the middle of it, basically. So I'm in the middle of it. And there you go. The trip works. It's all good. Can't be crouched, can't be jumped. And yeah, that's what I do for that one. Obviously, Jet's going to draft it, whatever, but I can do that with basically a lot of these trips anyway. So, but yeah, that's what I do when we're not going A. And when I have both these trips up, usually I'm going to be playing with one of them, and my teammates are going to be strong side mid. Is usually how that goes. Like if I have this anti-flank trip and this anti-flank trip up, for anti-flank mid, my teammates are going to be doing a lot of work mid, and I'm going to be sitting on one of the extremities trying to get some pressure. I actually usually pick B main, but sometimes A main can be quite useful too. A lot of people like to go aggressive for this orb more so than B, in my experience at least. So I like to sit A. A lot of Jets will go Jets and Rainers will go exploring A main as well. So that's what I like sitting A main sometimes as well. Depends on the game and the reads I have. When it comes to cams as well, good, very much, especially on attack. This is more so for attack than defense, but even on defense too. Use your cam as like a info tool similar to Initiator, where you can just get decent info and then the cam will die, right? So ones like this are fine, but you can even get like deeper ones, like if I go short for instance. And so say if we get like super deep up short, like I can use this to like get info in tree, or I can use this like if I know that like this, maybe this is get scoped by my teammate or whatever, right? I can place a cam through there and check if someone's there, or check where they are, who it is, that kind of stuff if we don't have that information. Or maybe I don't see anyone at all, and I know that garden's clear. Or maybe they're in the smoke, and I can read that, or something, you know what I mean? So make sure we use like our cameras like pretty aggressively to take like info. Don't just like expect the cam to live the whole round, because it doesn't need to. Okay, so next we'll talk about like retake. So say if
drop the spike.
Say if we have bomb planted B. Obviously sitting backside with cages is pretty good. I think there's also like a, not exactly a one way, but like a different cage you can do. So you go up to this. I have to remember it. I'm pretty sure it's aim at this here, like this like part of the cloud. To land on the roof. Yeah, okay, perfect. I remember it. And basically, yeah, it's just like a one way kind of on stairs where they can't really come down the stairs because their legs will be exposed first. In the cage. You can place that honestly on the way to site. You can technically use it on defense too, but I don't think it's really that useful on defense unless you know for sure you're running back site and you're alone, and that the enemy team are going to always take stairs. Maybe this one's useful on defense too. But yeah, generally this is like how it looks like on retake. I also might use my cages a bit more like this as well, getting this sort of like kind of being slippery with these Cypher cages and like trying to like walk out of them and be annoying, usually like 1v1s, maybe 2v1s, 1v2, etc. Let's retake B, retake A as like the attackers. Usually I'm gonna play under, but it's not usually that great. I mean, I don't really play it on site a huge amount. Usually I'm flanking, so usually I'm like over by tree and being annoying. Sometimes I'll like place my cam and try and get wall bangs. Usually like going short is like a really good idea. on and like trying to control the tree area and just being annoying, basically, for the enemy team trying to retake tree. It's also really good as well if you know they have like a kill drill available. So to try and hold this area for as long as possible is quite good. If they can't like place their ult soon enough or whatever, right? If you're just like having a lot of pressure here and just being very, very annoying with your cages and that kind of stuff, trying not to die, that can be really, really strong. And that's kind of it for the guide. I tried to be a bit more like, I tried to be like quite basic with the guide and kind of give you more like ideas and give you like decent like base level setups. So then you can sort of grow on them, like build on them, sorry. Like what you want and what you need contextually for your games. And same with attack as well. I just tried to give you like the bare bones, what you kind of do, like the fundamental, like for your fundamentals on this map. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one.